Hello, and welcome to my shoutout video. I recently reached 200 subscribers, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to reach out to my audience, small as it is, and maybe get you guys to invest your time in checking out a couple of other small channels similar to mine. So the list you're about to see is my vanity list. It's a list of other YouTubers who have their own channels with small subscription basis. Every one of them has under 1,000 subscribers, and they're all undersubbed. They all make different kinds of videos, but they're all similar in that they're all atheists. They're all undersubbed. They're all male, and they're all roughly within my age range. So go ahead and check out these guys, and if you're so inclined, go to their channels and give them a sub.
Well, it's kind of a vague generalization there. I mean, what exactly are you talking about when you're talking about biased? You know, I mean, if you're talking about how if I'm going into something with innate skepticism that it's probably not true, then yeah, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. But I do that not just religious things. I do that with all kinds of things. I think people tend to forget that you can be an atheist and still believe in some pretty kooky things, like reflexology, alien abductions, the power of hallucinogenic drugs to see into, like, if whatever, reptilians ruling everything, the New World Order.
Christians piously defending Christianity by preventing other Christians from knowing the words of Christ. Such a cast of mind, such a climate of absolute confidence that knowledge should be rewarded by torture and death, were unlikely to help those accused of witchcraft. I recommend this book. I really do. Bye.
For as you can see in this clip, she made a fatal pronouncement.
I just thank God for the miracle of the security camera footage, Oprah. Jesus was with me at all times during this ordeal.
The 6 men were immediately advised by the defense team to plead the Yahweh,
which entails?
The federal Yahweh defense was enacted in 2085, as you know. By admitting she is a follower, worshiper, and believer in and of the Yahweh, her case was thrown out. For as we know, the Yahweh's laws apply to the Yahweh believer, not man's law, which they reject. So no crime was committed against her.
We'll now go to this clip of the meeting between Mary Lowe, the 6 male defendants, and their respective attorneys.
Your client worships the Yahweh. Her rape was ordained and planned by the Yahweh.
I would say, if anything, if it did affect them in any way, shape, or form, I became a lot more liberal and more prone and aware of human rights as I became an atheist, because I realized how much more of a direct effect I have on other people. But I want to genuinely know, what is a Christian value? What is Christian? More importantly, what are the Christian values that Christians hold? I want to know, because in my perspective, there's nothing that I held to be morally right or wrong, per se, more as a Christian than I do now.
Sokyotikingana okwea bomengwa mukilezali pamba kolo naye pembeni nayo yokanga
According to the Bible, people like Noah and Moses spoke directly to God. They also, incidentally, had unnaturally long lifespans, something I'm quite envious of. But it would appear that, in the last couple of thousand years, he hasn't thought it worth his while to speak directly to anybody. The Pope might have something to say about that, but I would turn the question around and say, why can't he reveal himself to us? It would certainly make the whole religion business a lot more convincing. The very fact that it has to rely on faith that particularly old religious texts are true, are based on reality, not made up by people. That's quite hard to accept, especially when the authorship of these texts is sort of hidden in the mists of history.
I've decided to make this a kind of skeptics channel. Now, I know that this doesn't seem convincing, and you probably doubt my credentials because I don't have a British accent. I assure you, however, that I do an absurd amount of research every day because I don't know why. It's kind of lame, really. I guess I'm a nerd. But because of that nerdiness, you can trust me. But yeah, I'll be presenting the arguments. Definitely free to, by all means free, to choose your own side. Comment, argue, debate, whatever, in the comments section. I'll try to get into the debates myself, defend myself, do a little bit of annotation work. Don't you love it? And yeah, so I decided to make this a skeptics channel.
And it came to pass that the Lamanites did pursue them, and did overtake them, and began to slay them. Now it came to pass that the king commanded them that all the men should leave their wives and their children, and flee before the Lamanites. Now there were many that would not leave them, but had rather stay and perish with them. And the rest left their wives and their children and fled. And it came to pass.
So here in a study of ones and zeros on a server untold miles away, but as close as a click can make it, is an old dog leaving the porch. I consider myself a lifelong atheist. My mother attempted to raise me Christian. The belief didn't take, but her three favorite quotes did. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone, and do unto others. With those phrases comprising the filter media of my mind, I approach my encounters with theists with a live and let live attitude. I mean, I wouldn't want my beliefs attacked, so it would just be plain rude to attack theirs. Oh, and Mom always said, well, drilled into me, mind your manners.
Dare call up your brother's girlfriend, wife, and profess your love for her while recording with a straight face until she knows that you love her. After the conversation, you have to wait at least 1 hour before calling her back, telling her it was a joke. Yeah, thanks, Wilbur.
Hello, you have reached. Leave a message, please, and I will call you back as soon as I am able. Have a great day.
Hi. This is Todd. There has been something that I have been meaning to tell you for some time, but I haven't been able to work up the nerve. You see, I have feelings for you. I'm sorry that this is the way that I've had to tell you. I just couldn't hold it in myself anymore.
You are so dead, Rubber Wilbur.
Okay, so that was a list of the people, my vanity list. But there's a couple other people that I want to give shout-outs to. These are all also atheists. The first group that I'm going to show here is a list of young women. They're all just getting started, and we all like watching women on YouTube, so give them a go. The next two after that, the first one is a guy who would have been on my vanity list, except that he's way too young to be on my vanity list. He's just a little kid. But he's a very, very entertaining and smart little kid, so yeah, check him out too. The one after that is a guy who is not an atheist, and he's not American, and he's not Caucasian. So he couldn't go on my vanity list, but he's a guy who deserves a little bit of attention. He actually is a theist, and but he makes some videos where he's actually trying to think things through a little bit, and he and another guy discuss things once a week in a series called Ask David. Check it out. Check it out. The last two that I'm going to put on the bottom of the screen here are two women who've been around for a little while that I've had personal contact with through PMs and whatnot. They're both also undersubbed, very intelligent, and deserve a check out. Especially, well, I want to say especially, but I do want to give a special notice to the Lizard Lass because she featured me on her channel. I'm on her channel right near Nesserin, which I think is pretty cool. So, yeah, give her a check out, and if you haven't seen her before, I think you'll enjoy what you see, and make sure you sub her. So, thanks everybody for watching my shout-out video, and thanks for being a subscriber. And, oh, by the way, if you're mentioned in this video, feel free to mirror the video. That way, everybody else who I talked to about in the video will get even more exposure, and we can make this thing snowball a little bit. So, think about doing that. Talk to you later. Bye.